Hey friends, it's good to be back. I haven't done one of these videos in quite a while. I've really needed to once again kind of go through my own process. One of the things I want to talk about in this little video is something that happens along the journey that is incredibly important. And maybe some of you have already realized it, but there is a point in our life that we start to recognize how we're not in control at all. We're not in control of the things that happen to us, the way our life is moving. The only real control that we have is really recognizing how we're in resistance to life, how we're maybe thinking that we are still in control. And one of the ways that we start to realize that we're not in control is when things keep randomly happening. And you can sense that they're just kind of trying to get your attention, right? And these are the ones that are actually very benevolent. These little events that keep kind of happening, and maybe they're shaking you up a little bit. Maybe they're shaking me up a little bit. But they're really here to kind of get our attention. What is in control? And this is a very important part of the journey, that we start to realize a capacity that's within us to let go of control. And this is a very beautiful place. Because control is not only is it an illusion, but it can cause, just the belief of control can cause tremendous suffering when things don't go our way. When these little events happen to us and they're getting our attention, we can start to recognize those familiar places within our being that don't like losing control. They're being exposed for us to be able to put our attention on them. That's all. For us to be able to just recognize a place that maybe is frightened of losing control. Maybe it has imaginings of what can happen. And those places within our being that are in resistance to losing control are generally very weak. They're the places within our being that are weak because they don't know what is in control. They're separate. And so these weak places within us are simply the places that are asking for healing. It's not something wrong. It's not something that needs to get changed. It's just something that wants our attention. And by putting our attention on these places that are afraid of losing control, we begin to discover a capacity within us that is ready to let go all the way. And this is something that it's a function that's already there within our being. And discovering that capacity to let go, it takes a while, right? Because there's like layers, and we're going to go deeper and deeper into that final place of being able to let go all the way. And this is really what liberation is. Because when we're able to let go all the way, we're not relying on anything of our world, the world that we imagine. We begin to rely on the only reliable source, which is this fundamental reality behind the screen of the world and through the screen of the world. Now, I know a lot of us have had lots of experiences with that reality. But do you allow it to come in and take care of everything? Have you recognized that everything is in the hands of this fundamental reality? So much so that you don't even think about it. Because it is this full, rich place of completely letting go that allows our minds to go very quiet. Because our minds have recognized also that it's not in control. There's an analogy of the tree that's outside. Maybe you have a big tree in the front of your house. Big tree. Big oak tree or a cottonwood tree. And many animals live in that tree. And underneath the ground are worms and bugs, and there's this whole interdependent ecosystem going on. And the bees buzz around and they pollinate the plants around, and the sun shines on the tree, and the rain comes on the tree, and the tree gives shade, and that's just what is happening. It's the nature of the tree, the nature of the squirrel, the nature of the sun, the nature of the bugs. And there's an awareness of this interconnection. And when we let go all the way, it's opening the door for that realization that we're part of a grand ecosystem. that's going to act through us, because that's our nature. It's nature. And we're not needing to think about how to act through us. We're not here to think about the right way and the wrong way of doing things. Spirituality is about recognizing this interconnectedness. Interconnectedness. It's not about having my experience that I'm one with everything. That it's about recognizing that we're part of something much bigger than ourselves. And that's a delight. That's a great life. So letting go of control opens the door for that. And devotion has a big place in this, doesn't it? Because then we're recognizing what we're letting go to. We're letting go to that love. But we can't let go until we recognize that we're not in control. And you can hear me talk about it, but the realization has to come from each one of us. We have to realize it. We have to say, whoa, this is getting bizarre. Life is bizarre. Look at all this stuff happening all over the place. It's totally wacky. And this is a very important place to be. And we can have that realization that we're not in control, but there still might be a lot of places within our body that want to stay in control. And you can feel it. When those little events happen, there's a little contraction, right? You know those contractions? Oh shit, what's going to happen? But this is really important, that you stay with yourself or with other people that are on a journey like yours, because other people, when you start talking about these things that are happening, will start to feed you responses based on their own understanding that these things that are happening are unfortunate. Right? I got sick. My car broke down. I was laid off. And we can look at all those things and realize that they were out of our control. But if we maintain that they're bad things, they're unfortunate things, then that's going to block us from realizing this, the goodness, the benevolence, that's trying to get our attention. What is trying to get our attention is really here to show us that we're part of something bigger. And that doesn't mean denying yourself. And I just want to clarify, because a lot of spirituality is based on no self. And so a lot of people do inquiry to try to see through this self and deny themselves as a person. But really, what this work is doing is it's healing this idea of an isolated individual. A person that is not connected. A person that is all alone and has to figure life out and get it right, improve themselves. The real spiritual work is just removing that idea, that belief, this feeling that I'm all alone, that I'm not connected. But when we really let go, and that which we start to rely on starts to show us what is in control, we start to experience something that we are a part of. Yes, we're not an individual, isolated person. We're part of something much bigger. But that isn't going to give you something that you can hold on to, depend on. This is actually going to ask us to let go of any idea of what we need. Because the tree doesn't have ideas of what it needs. The squirrels and the bugs they're just participating. And so maybe for a while we wait. And we don't have answers. And we don't know. We don't know what needs to happen. And maybe this process of maturing and enriching this realization that we're not in control and something else is, and to allow that to come in, that needs to mature. And simply by the absence of this doing, I need to do it to make it happen, the absence of that action is going to further dissolve this separateness. Because that's what's been keeping it alive. I'm in control. I need to do it. I need to figure it out. So you can understand these teachings really well, but until this stuff starts to really be removed in your system, you're not going to get this deeper fundamental interconnectedness. And this is what I'm calling this great change. We're being changed by life. We're being shaped. This vehicle. So that something much deeper can be accessed. Is pure potential. So recognizing that you're not in control is a very important step. And you're slowly going to believe more, not believe, but actually rely on and align with more with that which is in control than with the world of time and space. Your events, your relationships, your money, your job, your activities, your friends. How much do we rely on that? Maybe for some of us, it's just maybe one or two things that we've relied on. I need that paycheck. Who makes the paycheck? Or what makes the paycheck? So shifting our awareness of what is in control and sensing it here always, that this is what's trying to get your attention. Maybe some of you sense it outside, some of you sense it inside. Doesn't matter. Neither way is right or wrong or better. It will change. But one of the feelings that you'll have is that you're going to open. That's what happens when we let go, is we naturally open. We make more space. We make more space for life. That's a good thing. Contraction doesn't make space for life. Contraction keeps it out. Resistance, fear keeps life out. Keeps potential hidden. So recognizing that we're not in control here, just even feeling that, how it opens us up. And letting go really opens us up. And there's a feeling when you come face to face with that which is in charge, which might even be your own heart. Everybody is going to interpret this differently. It will be a mystery unto itself. It's not something you can control or own or grasp onto. It is only something to let go to. And watch what happens. And this is in a very important time right now to see that this control is an illusion. Personal control. And this is incredibly freeing to be able to let go of control. Incredibly liberating. Maybe for some of us a little bit terrifying, because yeah, that paycheck seems darn important. I understand that very, very well. But this is it. I can't make anything happen just because I want to. I can try, but that's not letting go, is it? It's not getting out of the way. And this is what our society is based on, trying and efforting and making it happen. And then people wonder why everybody's sick. Everybody's dying of cancer now and other things rather than just good old age. Because that which sustains us has been forgotten. We're not letting it come in and sustain us. The Native Americans, the first peoples, they knew that. They knew what was sustaining them. The Great Spirit, Earth Mother, all the animals and the trees and the bugs. The interconnectedness was very strong, and they had no disease. And so feeling what's calling us home. It's going to be beyond this obsolete paradigm. The structure of reality that isn't sustainable. It's not working. And why do you think so many people, so many of us are being called? It takes many of us to shift this out of this paradigm. This, I need to do this to be happy. I need these people to feel complete. already complete. We're already part of something that is incredibly powerful. And it's the invitation to really let go to that and to know it in the fabric of our being. So that we can live from that place. All right, my friends. That's it for now. I don't want to go too long. You know me, I could. All right, my friends. Talk soon. Be well.